locked down with my son Peter and also my one student that I have here called Nora from South Korea. She's doing international law, and she's really nice, so it's nice to be locked down with her. She did tell me there is a new law that's recently come out. I don't know if you know about this. It's now illegal in Iceland to have sex with someone who is absolutely intoxicated. And I believe Morrison's and Asda are going to be rolling that out as well. So, just beware, we get our food delivered. We get loads of food delivered. These 3 people that drop food by for me. And we're eating lots of different things, interesting things. Unfortunately, 2 years ago, I became allergic to fish. I ate fish at the Edinburgh Festival. I was really poorly. I forgot that I'd eaten fish and I was poorly because I've eaten it all my life. I ate fish again. I came home and I started to be sick. I started to get really, really ill. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, I was still being sick. I was still being sick at 5:30. I've been sick for 5 hours, constantly. I was in the bathroom. I'd passed out twice. My legs had stopped working. I couldn't pull my pyjama bottoms up, and I didn't have a top on. So you don't want anybody to see you like that. And I thought, well, it's going to get better. Eventually, after 5 hours and passing out twice, and my legs stopped working, I realised that I thought that I was going to die that night. So I sent my son looking for my phone. He found my phone. He brought my phone to the bathroom, and I managed to press for my nephew Ben, who then rang my daughter, and she rang me, and I was trying to explain that I couldn't stand, I couldn't see, I'd passed out twice, and I really thought that I was going to die. And she rang an ambulance. The ambulance lady then rang me and asked what was happening, and I said, well, for the last 5 hours I've been sick, I can no longer stand, I can't really see, and I passed out twice, and I really do think that I'm going to die. And she said, well, if you get any worse, ring us back. And I said, well, you can't get any worse than this. This is it. You're going to die. But so then Ben turned up, and my son-in-law turned up, and a friend turned up, and the doctor who was actually living here at the time came downstairs and lifted me off the floor. Imagine that somebody has seen you in that dreadful, dreadful state, lifted me off the floor, and Ben took me in his car to the A&E. I couldn't walk when I got in the car, and he parked as close as he could to the A&E. And I still couldn't walk when I got to the A&E. I did 3 or 4 steps, and then I collapsed. Again, I was sick, but I didn't want to be sick in the nice bowl that they brought me. I put that to one side. I was sick on Ben's shoes. And then I remember that they put me on a trolley, and they put me on a drip, and I was really, really ill, and I was on fluids, and I didn't die, but I did think I was going to die that night, and I was saying things to Ben like, I've hid some money in the bottom of the bed. And then after he'd stayed with me 2 or 3 hours, and I was on the drip, I realised I wasn't going to die, and I was saying things like, Ben, get some gloves, we're out of gloves, and, if I don't die, don't get that money, if I don't die, I'm fine, you leave that money where it is. But since then I've forgotten. I've eaten fish my whole life. I was nearly a vegetarian. Fish was a big part of my diet, and I forgot. Again, Ben and I had to go to Birmingham. We had to pick a student up who had, because I teach privately, who had been rejected from his place of where he was having his lessons and being with this lady, because this lady had a breakdown. So poor kid's traumatised. He's got to come here. So we drive to Birmingham. Just before we set off, everyone's having fish and chips. Totally forgot. Broke a little bit of fish off, ate the fish, jumped in the car, drove to Birmingham. And then on the way back, I started to say, I feel really ill. I don't feel good. And then we remembered I'd ate the fish. But it's hard to remember not to eat fish when you've ate it forever. And we came back. I was started to be sick in the car. I was sick when we got onto the drive. I managed to get into the kitchen. And my daughter is very compassionate. She's seeing me literally crawl in the kitchen, and she's going, oh, you ate fish, didn't you? Well, there, what do you expect? You shouldn't eat it, not to eat fish. So then Ben's gone to fetch a prescription for me. I'm trying to walk up the road, crawling along the floor, and Ben comes back with a prescription for my son, and he hands me the prescription out the car window. I'm still sat on the floor on the pavement, and he drives off. So you can see me in the rearview mirror. You just get no sympathy whatsoever. I managed to get back here, and the poor student's going, "Where is my room? Where is?" And I'm going, "Oh, stop talking, don't talk to me." So I've tried to remember not to eat fish, which beggars the question. My daughter, who knows that it will kill me, sent me 2 fish pies in my last lot of shopping. What's all that about? Anyway, it's time to sign off now. I hope everybody's doing really well with this. You know, it will get better. Stay in. Stop going out. Stay in. Like the dustbins. Don't go out. Bye.